Come on in. Hey. Go in.
We all ready? Well, first and foremost, obviously we're starting this weekend, but also Illinois high school football. So from my alma mater to everybody in the state of Illinois, all the high school coaches, all the high school players, parents, administration, fans, I hope you have a great weekend. It's a game that we all love. Also announced too, I'll name Tommy DeVito is going to be our starter. All right, you guys all want to know that, right? Like as we got into the week, there are certain things I had to do for TV and release it to certain people, and it's starting to leak out there. So Tommy's had an incredible fall camp, but I would say Art is playing as good a football as we've been around him here. The surgery he had and the rehab and all the things that the doctors and trainers did has put him in a great position. A year ago, going into our opener, had never played with BP, right? I know he played a lot of football, but really we had two new transfers kind of coming in last year. This year to have the entire spring with Tommy, to have the fall with Art and know where we've been in the past. I'm really excited to see those guys go to work. And really, from a health standpoint, really just one guy that's not a starter that would help us on special teams. Might be a questionable thing for the game, but otherwise we're very, very healthy and excited to go.
What Tommy do specifically to win that job?
I would say, since we ride in fall camp, Art was in spring ball, right? So wanted to see how they played off each other really once fall camp hit, and then talk to them early on, going into fall camp, just, concentrate on being the best you, things we always talk about. I think Tommy has made a big jump from last spring to where we are. Really his composure in the pocket, learn how we play the game. I'm not saying he's Russell Wilson, right? But when we got Russell, I remember the transition that he had to go from the offense he ran to the offense we ran in Wisconsin. And I see a lot of those same things with Tommy when he first got here. There was a silly day, but he called a timeout during a practice. And that's something we never do when our coaches control timeouts, because we can do it I can do it from the sideline. And it was just that moment, right, where I'm like, okay, he's got a lot of things we got to process and go through. And I would say the relationship that Art and Tommy have and the way they've kind of worked off each other, and it's just been really impressive to me how he handles the team.
How's Art handled this process?
Great. I brought him. Obviously you guys have a chance to talk to Art, but I made a big deal last Sunday to our team about Art a year ago was in the same position. He's doing it again this year, and because he prepared the way he did, we were able to beat Nebraska. We never know when the number is going to be called. Let him be a lesson for everybody in that room. And then explain on the flip side, right, how Art got replaced by BP later in the year. So you never know when this situation is going to come up. Art, I think his direct quote, or said something. He goes, "I understand where we're at." He goes, "But I'm going to compete and prepare as hard as I can." That's all he's done. Just really, really a huge admiration for him.
How the guys practice this week?
Good. I like the tempo, offense and defense. We actually, Josh has given us the opportunity. You guys see that grass field, and so we practice on grass quite a bit now, trying to save their legs. I think cumulative during camp, that's been a huge deal and a huge appreciation to DIA, to Josh in particular. The support that he's given us in this building is unprecedented since I've been here. From the way we fuel our guys, the way we train our guys, the way we recover our guys, it's a really good spot, and our kids feel it, and I make them appreciate it. And I think now going into our week of the game, on Sunday night, I was like sitting back. I'm like, we look fast. We play fast, and that's different from where we were a year ago.
I guess for maybe Art to be playing as good a football as you've seen from him, how much did that you think push Tommy in the last?
Tommy, as you guys know, Tommy's a very confident person, right? So I think the competition brings the best out of everybody, but I think Tommy really concentrated on being him, which was kind of our message to him. Huge respect for him, all the guys around him. When they're out of practice, you hear guys, going back and forth, complimenting them and getting them to play. And it's just the reason I said that the other day in the press conference, everybody was making a big deal about, said I was excited like never before. It's because of situations like that, right? Like you see guys that are generally in a competition, but they truly want to do and appreciate each other's way they play.
Did you learn any other position battles like right guard and like that?
Zai will be a starter. Zai and Isaiah Adams will be our starting guards. I would expect Jordan Slaughter to play quite a bit at guard, tackle. We'll rotate guy Josh Kreutz, I think, will play. At tackle, I think you'll see a guy like Geske roll in and do some things, but I think our guys at tight end, it's going to be a smorgasbord of Tip, Luke, and Mike Marquez. I think you see Griffin Moore and Henry Boyer. So yeah, it's more.
I guess
Another
when
one.
you recruited Isaiah and Zaya, did you foresee maybe a situation like this where you could plug both those guys
I
in?
knew we needed bodies, and I knew we needed good bodies, right, to compete. And they're both extremely long. So funny story. During bye weeks, we were a maniac last year on the road doing evaluations, and I got a chance to see Zai and Isaiah live, right, a live um, um, evaluation rather than film, and that was really. I think we know how to evaluate old linemen. I was with Bart, and to see his length, to see the way he played, the way he could bend and move, especially Isaiah. Zai was actually playing left tackle when I saw him because we went to look at another left tackle, and he jumped out to me on film and then to see him live. So yeah, there's a lot of really good things that came out of that process.
Is game one unique every year? There's some things that keep you up at night, worrying about before the first game.
I get the question. I've never been one of those guys like anything keeps me up. I work enough. When I'm ready to go to bed, I'm ready to go to bed. But I would say that first game is always new to new players, right? So Calcio could go out of here as like the all-time leading start in the history of college football. It's still the first game for him this year, but he's been through this a lot, right? So like we go through special team scenarios, offense, defensive scenarios where you just know at times this first game there's going to be a guy that's never been in that situation that has to be tested as best he can. That's really the only concerns I have.
You very kind of talking leadership element of the quarterback competition this
Mhm.
week in the fall. What was Tommy able to do to kind of be able to get the team together behind him?
Yeah, Tommy's got a personality, a demeanor that I think guys gravitated to him right away. And then what was fun for me to watch grow over the summer and into this fall camp was not just with the wide receivers and running backs. He grew, and you'd see the linemen do certain things with him. Tommy's a competitive guy, like if something doesn't go right, and he owns it if it's on him, but if it's on someone else, he's not afraid to say something. I think Art has his own unique style of leadership. They're both kind of a little bit different, but both of them are very good that plays to the personalities of who they are. So I think the combination of those two, even I remember a day during the summer where I always check in on a daily basis with our strength staff, and I was with 3 of the strength coaches, and they talked about that morning during skill flex, right during a flex period, how Tommy and Art led that group simultaneously, and that's when I knew we were heading in the right direction.
You were the one of the least penalized teams last year in the league. Like, you described the scrimmages before Saturday as clean.
Yeah.
Have you been satisfied with?
I have the element that is there, right? We got a new officiating crew. It's their first game of the year, and statistically, they were a unit that was one of the highest throwing flag teams in the Big Ten units in the officiating crew last year in the Big Ten conference. So we really want our guys to play clean, right, and understand no pre-snap penalties. I can. In football, you want kids to play a certain way. You're going to have to live with certain penalties that happen between the whistle and the snap and the end of the game or the end of the play. But pre-snap penalties are the things that kill you, especially in certain situations. We talk about it every day. It was neat to have our guys when we made our team goals. There were certain things that got brought up by guys in the room, and then our older players, the guys that have been around me a year, they said, "Coach, that doesn't need to be a goal. That's got to be the part of who we are." And I think that's kind of a microcosm of that.
How much tackling to the ground did you guys do in the preseason? Was it just the 2 scrimmages and the simulated
No,
game?
you do the way the NCAA says you can have 2 scrimmages that are only scrimmages, right? And you can mix in scrimmaging. We actually scrimmaged during the mock game. Our young players came in, and the scrimmage ended with James Kreutz knocking 2 people out of the scrimmage. So like we've had a very physical camp. We practice tackling literally any day that we're in full pad, so at least 8 days. And there were still some days where we make sideline partner tackling when we're in shorts only. So we practice, we tackle quite a bit.
A year ago, you rotated a couple offensive linemen early. Sounds like maybe that's on the table again. At what point do you like to have those 5, in the season where you know for sure?
Yeah, I think those 5 are unique in that they always have to talk and communicate with each other. So those 5 that are going to start for us on Saturday, I would say the last 2.5, 3 weeks, they've known they're the starting 5 and kind of sprinkled other guys in. So, but Saturday's supposed to be a hotter day, right? So, we'll kind of play it as it comes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Sorry.